And the moral of that story is remember what your hotkeys are on your keyboard when you're about to go live on Twitch. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Twitch channel in the corner of my internet. We're going to play some Tales from the Loop. And I'm feeling really odd because normally I've got a script and we're doing it for somebody else. And now I'm like, I'm just going to do the thing over here that I want to do the thing. But I'm joined by three friends and we're going to play some Tales from the Loop. Starting at the top from the Not a Gaming Expert channel. It is The Expert. Are you an expert?
I'm not an expert.
You're not an expert? Okay,
I'm
cool.
not an expert. That's my only defense for everything that goes wrong in anything ever. Not an expert. But hi, guys. Yep. So I'm not an expert, but it's easy just to say expert, isn't it? It is. It is.
I love how that's just conveniently in your title of your channel, though. It's like, I'm not an expert, but I will put it in there just for ease of reference.
And already bringing the cheek is my friend James. How are you doing, James?
Hello, I am really good. Yeah, my Twitch name is Greylam, but I don't know anything about the internet, so don't follow me.
Don't go over there.
I'm just confused.
Yeah. And then also joining us is Martin. How you doing, Martin?
Very good, thank you.
Oh, good. I've never played an RPG with Martin. This is going to be exciting. I've had to put up with the previous two reprobates at some point in the past life.
Don't judge Martin by my standards. He is a saint of a player, although he will break the game.
Oh, good. It was for such a gentle and light game that is Tales from the Loop. Mechanically breaking it will probably make some of the folks from Free League cry. So what my plan was for this evening was to make some kids. As we make the kids, also work out some like NPCs and extra bits and pieces. Work out a little bit about the sort of mystery we want to do, because there is about 3 sort of, I guess, campaign modes or ways to play Tales from the Loop sort of thing. And then once we've done that, I will disappear into a Game Master cave and work out the best ways to torture your young children without murdering them. Is that okay to say on the internet? No.
As long as it's purely fictional.
Yeah. So before we kind of get into the mechanical kind of bits and pieces, have any of you folks played Tales from the Loop before?
Nope.
No.
Excellent. Have you ever played like Free League games? Do you know like the Alien RPG or Forbidden Lands, Mutant Year Zero? None of those ones either. Okay.
Nope.
Cool. So we're all sort of Free League kind of newbies.
Virgins. Yep.
Virgins. Okay, yeah, virgins will do.
I'm a noob.
A noob. So these games all run on D6s, and you kind of assemble a dice pool, roll all the D6s, and you're just looking for 6s as a win.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like stats and things, it's you will have like a top level stat, which is an attribute in this particular game, and then a lower down one will be a
Skill.
Yeah, I'm just apparently why is my Twitch panel, it says I'm offline, which is not
No,
right.
you definitely are.
No,
Right.
Got
online.
it right here.
Good.
Oh, it's all good.
Phew. I was like, oh, don't do that to me when I'm doing it all by myself. So yeah, you have an attribute and then a skill, and you take those 2 numbers, add them together, roll that many dice, and see how many 6s you get. If you don't get a 6, you've got an option on a skill roll to push, because when you're one of the attributes you're going to have is luck. So you can push your roll, use up a luck point, and roll everything that isn't a success again. When you use your luck point, that's it for the whole of the session. Although I need to double check whether it's the session or the mystery. And then you roll again, and if you don't get any successes on that, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Tales from the Loop is a kind of fail forward sort of game as well, so if you absolutely have to get into the building and none of you ever actually manage to achieve the move or the sneak or the force roll to get in there, we can kind of fail forwards a bit in that we might get in a way, but it's because you've been caught by the security guard and you're now sat in the reception waiting for a grown-up or something like that, rather than we've got in the way we want. There's another cool thing that's going to help you do stuff, which will be your iconic item, which is normally like the cool thing. Remember when you were a kid, you had this thing that was really cool and you were always so precious with it. You have that, and you can use that to gain yourself a bonus, but you have to kind of explain how you'd use it. It's not enough to say, I've got a special item, an iconic item that is a pen, and I'm going to use it on this sneak roll to give me a +2. No, we need to know how the pen is going to give you a +2 or give you a bonus and help you get through. So it's much more kind of narrative than some other RPG games. And then the thing I love about Tales from the Loop is it's set in the 80s that never was. So it's like this retro futuristic kind of world. And it's all based around something called the magnetrine effect. Like way back when they worked out there was this strange effect, and they've used it to basically create a sort of large hadron collider that is under the ground, provides a lot of green energy, and the other thing it does is make floating cars, and rather than trains, you've got like these maglev style floating barges that traverse the hemisphere, the globe. So a lot of the countryside doesn't have train tracks and motorways and that kind of stuff through it. It's sort of unspoilt. As well as the advantages from the magnetrine effect, you have things like autonomous walking robots, basic AI, and the ground where the loop is based is also used as research centers for all kinds of weird stuff. So it's a little bit, if you think about Stranger Things, you know, like the power and energy company there, and they've got all that going on. So in the loop, it's called, the company that runs it is Rinsky Energy, and it is also managed in the UK loop, in the British kind of version, by the Ministry of Agriculture, Foods and Fisheries, because it's underneath the land and that kind of stuff. So there's Rinsky Energy and the Math Man, who are sort of like the big bad guys.
Cool.
Yeah. Where we're set, so I because I love making maps and stuff, I made this Lancashire loop map. So it's set not so far from where I live. It covers a lot of what is sort of, you know, all the sort of local spooky stories. So things like, there's definitely like a secret military bunker underneath Runshire College kind of thing, and all those sort of stuff. And like these old tunnels that lead underground, and Warburton vans disappear under there to feed the nuclear government bunker if everybody was going, and all that kind of weird nonsense that kind of goes into it. So it's set near Preston in Lancashire, but that's not like everything is going to be a city-based kind of 80s thing. You are going to play kids who will no doubt have BMXs or choppers or skateboards or whatever, or 12p for bus fare, whatever it was. That's what it used to cost me to go to school, man. 12p, and I'd sometimes spend 5 of it on a Mars bar and just walk.
Wow, you are showing your age, Millie.
I know, right? Yeah, it's terrible. So before we kind of got to where we are right now, we've all had a kind of little bit of a look at the rule book. Is that right? We have had a little bit of a look at
I've looked at the character creation.
Not an expert is where. Yeah, okay. James,
I've seen the front cover.
I may have read the whole book.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Just devoured it. No.
I read the character creation and basically what the skills were, but that's it.
Right, cool.
That's all I was really interested in.
Yeah. So
Not that I'm not interested, but yeah.
So the character creation is similar to using maybe a standard array from Dungeons and Dragons. There's no roles, and a lot of it is based around how old you want your kid to be. So Tales from the Loop goes from 10 to 15. Anything younger than 10 and you're a stupid baby. Anything older than 10 and people get interested in like boys, girls, jobs, stuff kind of things. So somewhere between that. You don't all have to pick the same age because we can work out a way how you all know each other. And the thing I mentioned about luck earlier, the younger you are, the more luck you have. You remember somehow little kids never seem to fall down and break their legs or get stuck on stuff. It's because they're so lucky. Whereas older kids have more skill points, more attributes, so they're just better at stuff. Cool. So it depends on how you want to kind of roll with your character, whether you want to be lucky or good.
Be lucky.
Yeah, a little bit lucky. So what ages were folks thinking? Has anybody got a preference, or are we
14 or 15 probably.
top end of it? Yeah.
I was going to go 13. So it's older, but has a little bit of youth to it as well.
All right, okay. What about you, expert? Any preference?
I'll go 11 then.
11.
11.
11,
baby.
13 and a 14?
I can go 15.
15.
I can go 15, yeah.
We've got the whole range of this.
I like how we're just sticking to odd numbers as well. 11, no
Yeah.
12, 13.
Alright.
no
I've put in our little chat actually what my item would be.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
okay.
use that for absolutely everything.
I genuinely had one of those, like when I was 11 years old.
All right, I'll have to have a look at that picture.
A Donald Duck hat. I think I had one as well when I went to Disney World. I think I had a very similar one.
Donald Duck hat.
I'm guessing I can't post it in the chat.
You might be able to post links in the chat. I don't think I've disabled them.
Oh
you
yeah,
have?
there we go.
Oh, cool.
There it is.
Oh no, I think I have disabled it, just because I'm doing 7 things at once and I didn't want to. All right, I will add it later. I'll include it in the.
I remember very
afterwards.
specifically the whole beak was the cat part,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a very hard plastic,
Yeah.
and you could like nut people with it.
Oh
It
right,
really
okay.
hurt them.
Multiple
Angry
use.
11-year-old.
Literally peck them.
Alright.
Really good.
So you have a number of points equal to your age to split among the 4 attributes. So 11, 13, and 15 to go between body, tech, heart, and mind. So those are like your 4 main groups. You can't leave any of them 0, and you can't go over 5. So that's kind of.
And we have to add up to your R age.
You have to
Yeah.
add up to your age. That's your choice, yeah.
I've already kind of pre-thought about what mine would be.
Yeah. What are
So-
you like? A super sneaky kid? Super.
I'm smart. So I've got 1 in body because it reflects how terrible I am at sneaking and how terrible I was at 13 at standing up straight without falling over. I've got 2 in heart because I'm awkward and antisocial.
Okay. Yeah,
But I've got 5s in both tech and mind because I is smart.
he's super smart. Super.
Yeah.
Are you doing everybody's homework? Is that the thing here? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing D&D in a basement with my uncle. I don't have any friends.
Oh no.
That's my life.
Oh. Oh, that's already bleeds. Oh, poor child. Let's get him into the sun and then show him weird stuff. What about your kid, Martin? What are you thinking? What's the big end of your stats, or are you spreading them evenly?
I'm going to mostly focus on body, so put body at 5, so be more physical, especially since I'm playing 15. So I'm going to play either a hick or a jock. I'm not sure which one.
All right. Okay.
And then I've got 4 in tech if I'm going to play a hick, for working on
Yeah, and tractors
farm or
and
wherever. Yeah.
agri drones or whatever cool stuff happens in retro future. loops. All right, that's cool.
4 in heart because I want to put a point in lead to help other people out because I want to be the kind of person who helps my friends out a lot in the whatever we're coming across.
Yeah,
and then 2 in mind because I'm not good at that thinking stuff.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're smart. And what have we got? Have you got any plans? I know you've only just had the chance to have a look.
James, what were you again? Were you the book?
So I am playing a computer geek.
Oh, computer geek. Okay.
So if when I was looking at it before, there are 3 key like skill sets. So I've got program, calculate, and comprehend as my main skills, and they're also duplicated by the bookworm. So we would like double up, same way as the jock and hick are kind of double up because they've both got force and move. I think
Force and move, yeah, but tinker is hick only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only character that has a unique skill that is not represented by any others, I think, is the popular kid, which has lead. But but the ones that we don't have sneak. We don't have
like you can put points into skills that aren't in the thing. But
Yeah.
You just can't put as many.
more of a bonus.
We're trying to min-max slightly, I think, there.
No, I'm just play what you want. I'm playing a computer geek because my 13-year-old D&D player dared me to play as him in the RPG, so that's what I'm doing.
The only thing about the skills is that they if they're on your primary list, they're capped at 3, and if they're not, they're capped at 1.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, what would you say you were as a kid, Chris? At
Or
Oh,
what would you want to
man.
be as a kid?
What was I? Blooming
You're
heck.
probably a sporty type, right? Playing football.
Bookworm.
and
I
stuff.
mean, I was, but I was not a popular sporty type person.
You could be. There is the jock. You could be a jock, or
Nah.
there is
I can't see you as a rocker,
a
really.
rocker,
I might have to be a weirdo.
a weirdo.
Yeah.
I was well. I mean, in my school days, I was a bit of a weirdo because I was the kid that was like the one that went to church,
Oh.
which is very weird.
So you were in a
amongst
cult
my-
as a child, is what you're saying? Sorry,
Sort
no.
of, yeah. And I'd be like, oh, we should sing that song from The Sound of Music because that was so wholesome and fun. So is that like an anti-weirdo?
No,
And
no,
that
it's just a different type of
A
weirdo.
different type of weirdo, yeah. It was almost like I was raised on a farm, but like an Amish farm. I don't know.
All right.
An Amish farm.
You can play an Amish weirdo.
I'll go with weirdo.
All right, so you're gonna be a weirdo.
I'll probably go not so much with maybe a little bit with the body.
Uh-huh.
I'm just trying to add them up now. Okay, right, I've got it.
Right.
So, body 2,
Mhm.
tech 1,
Mhm.
but then heart and mind 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
We're gonna win the hearts and minds.
Hearts and minds, people. Hearts and minds.
What we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Sounds
All right.
good.
So this is to work out your luck. You start at 15, take away your age, and that's how many luck points you have. So
I have no luck.
Martin's character is no luck. Doesn't mean you won't be able to push the rolls. I know you know
Yeah.
this already, but
Yeah.
it's just you'll have no sort of free re-rolls, if you will.
No, I know. I said before you said like spend the luck to push, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not. But I didn't want to say anything until later on.
Yeah.
Start at 15, take away your age, and that's your luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
I have
I'm
two.
luckiest.
yes, yeah, you have loads because you're only 11. Martin has none because he's 15 and cool. Cool.
The Fonz.
The next
Definitely
bit.
the Fonz to our group.
Oh yeah. The next bit is the skill points. So underneath the body, heart, mind is all the different skills, and this is where you can. Depends on the type of child you chose. Depends on where you can put the skills. So this is the sort of not min-maxing, but min-maxing we're kind of talking about there. You don't have to put points in everything in these ones. You can just have some that are 0. And you get 10 points to put in those boxes down to the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I'm putting 3 in each of my primary schools and 1 in lead. That's my.
Oh,
my
right,
plan.
okay, just straight in.
I
Yeah.
have gone 1 in Tinker, 2 in Program, 2 in Calculate,
Mm-hmm.
one in Contact,
All right, yeah, good plan.
1 in Investigate, and 3 in Comprehend.
Working all that stuff out.
Look at you
So,
guys all like
I've
prepared.
kind of spread it out. I spent literally 3 minutes before the game started
Quick.
dividing 10 into skill. That's it.
It's all right. I haven't wrote an adventure yet. No.
I did print out the thing though, so that's good.
Cute.
I'm literally having to recreate the character sheet in an Excel spreadsheet because my Google Docs will not let me edit or open anything.
Oh,
properly.
will it not?
No, it's my end that's the problem.
Oh.
So yeah.
Just write them down. Just write down, and then we can.
I know,
make it.
but I don't have paper or pencils.
No,
near
like
me.
literally just type them on a line in each one. And don't, it doesn't have to be fancy, does it?
No, it's not. Definitely not.
Yeah. You can always fix that in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. I say this a lot in live streams. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. And I'm just like, and that's how we get the intro twice.
Wait, so for skills, how many points do I have to put in
So
skills?
you got 10 total.
Yeah.
And depending on the type of kid you want to be, and we picked weirdo, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we? Or did we?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, weirdo. So sneak, investigate, and empathize. You can put up to 3 points in each of them, and anything else can have a maximum of 1. But you don't have to put anything in them if you don't want to.
Right.
So.
Well, I'll take the sneak probably a good one to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially as I didn't realize it'd be body.
Okay,
Whoopsies.
are you going? You got Tinker, haven't you, James?
I have
Oh,
Tinker
you-
1, but I might shift that. If you're going Hick, I'll take it out of Tinker because I assumed that you'd have it.
Yeah,
But,
I'll be taking. That's right. When he said, I didn't know whether Tinker was like one of your main abilities or not.
Oh no, I've got Program, Calculate, and Comprehend as my main abilities.
That's fine. Yeah, Tinker's my. I'd say my secondary, but it's 1 point away. I've got 3 in Tinker and 4 in Tech.
Cool. But yeah, we don't have anything really between Martin and I in Sneak or Empathize or Investigate really.
So I've gone for all those.
Yeah.
Actually, no, think about it. I might change my skills slightly.
I've gone 3 sneak, 2 investigate, 1 comprehend, 2 empathize,
Yeah.
1 charm, and I've got 1 left.
For Martin's character, who won't have any luck, when they want to push the roll, they're going to take a condition. So they might be angry or upset or frightened or something else. And these conditions after this roll reduce your dice pool, make everything harder because you're so angry you can't concentrate on stuff, or because you're so scared you're just jittering about, and so on and so on. And lead will help you calm them down or stop them being scared or stop them being upset and that kind of stuff. So a lead role is the way to kind of combat that. Otherwise, and we'll get to them when we make the NPCs, otherwise you have to go home and have a chat with your dad or your maths teacher or whoever your anchor is, your grown up who is you spend the most time with. So a lead role is a good way to sort of keep your friends cool and chill and that kind of stuff. I guess it's a bit like Healing Word if you want a 5e reference for it. Doesn't fix everything, but just kind of gets you a little bit better.
Good. Okay,
Yeah.
good shout then. Good shout.
You can also assist each other with lead and give extra dice pools.
Yeah, help each other and that kind of stuff.
Well, I have 0, so you're out of luck with that one.
So yeah, lead is a good shout. If we're gonna have a go with that. Where else were we thinking of? We were talking about Tinker a minute ago as well, weren't we? Because,
Yeah, I've gone pretty deep into Tinker.
all right, so Martin's...
I noticed we've got Tinker, but there's no Tailor.
There's no soldiers or spies either.
I know.
It's
And you've got sneak. You could kind of spy.
We're trying to think, James.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
I know. God, you remind me. That's just brought back a really traumatic memory. I was once backstage with a AAA pass at a gig. I was really excited to see this band.
Yeah.
And I walked past the lead guitarist with my partner, and I was like, have you seen the band coming up? I've heard the guitarist is pretty good. Clearly making a joke to the guitarist because I knew who he was. And then they went, you do know they're in the band. I was like, yes, but now I look like I didn't, and I look like an idiot, and oh my God. And I went bright red and ran off, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Nice.
I was trying to be so cool, and then it just fell apart.
Just fell in your lap. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, skills. Has everybody now put their 10 points across all the places?
I have.
All right.
I have, yes.
So this is the bit I think is the most fun. And it's like picking stuff like iconic items and cool things that your kid always schleps around with you all the time. I know we've got a duck-billed Donald Duck hat as one thing we were thinking.
That suits the weirdo build. Like, if
I
that's
mean,
what
it
you wear
does,
all
yeah.
the time. Clearly, because I'm a computer geek class, I would have a laptop. I was trying to think like whether it's if we're set in the 80s, would I have a laptop or would I have a home desktop PC?
Well, this is like the retro futuristic style of the 80s, so it's probably like really
Like Back to the Future.
Yeah, like a really chunky mini CRT screen with like those rubber keyboard thing glued onto the side. It's probably about this big. And you need a satchel full of batteries if you want it to work for more than an hour or two.
That's
kind of
cool.
Thing.
And I have a Thundercats sticker on it.
And a Thundercat sticker on it, yeah.
That's my thing.
So you've got your little... What would it be called? It'd be like the...
like a Sinclair.
Yeah,
or an Atari or something.
Yeah, the Atari... The Go Atari or something, wouldn't it? It'd be like to take it away with you somewhere.
I've got an Atari Go. There you go.
Atari Go. There we go. All done. We've just invented part of the past that never happened. Oh God. Martin, what's your? Is it a hick you've picked?
Yeah, hick. I think I'm gonna go with my my lucky wrench.
Just a big chunky wrench.
Lots of percussive maintenance.
Yeah. All right, cool.
I love to see how you will try and solve every single problem with, but I got my wrench.
I've got my wrench.
Got my wrench.
So you're talking to the librarian. How does the wrench help you? I just hit them with it. Brutal 15-year-old.
It was good enough for the Hubble telescope.
It was, yeah, actually, yeah. It was good. So the next bit, we need to pick things like problems, drives, and prides. Mm-hmm. Problems are normally something that helps me use to get you into trouble. Same with drive. Nobody picked Jock, did they? No. So some of the problems for the jock in the book are I can't read very well, and they want me to move into a special class, which you can understand why that would be a kind of problem for a jock, because they're not supposed to, they're supposed to be cool, and now they're in a special class, that kind of thing. So has anybody kind of got an idea what the problem might be? Do you want to pick one from the book, or you want to work with one to sort of...
I'm just reading through the stuff that they've got down for the weirdo, and they have whoever wrote this has a really clear idea in their mind of what a weirdo is. Listening like the iconic item suggestions, it's like a razor blade.
Yeah. A pet rat.
A pet rat. I mean, come on.
Pet rat would be
My
pretty
father
cool.
is a communist is the problem.
I mean, part of it is...
I love that.
Is that Tales from the Loop, there is an American setting. So obviously in the 80s there would have been this big old communist kind of...
The Red Scare, yeah.
Yeah, scare going on. What would
I'd
it
love
be?
you to play this really hardened anti-commie, better dead than red kind of kid.
But what would be like the British equivalent? It'd be like my dad is French or something.
My dad's a trade unionist.
Yes. Yeah, my dad's a trade unionist. He's in that kind of stuff. My dad's a Tory.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, they've clearly got an idea there. But you don't have to kind of stick with them. And to a certain point, some of the problems from the other kids that they recommend in the book are applicable as well. The problem doesn't necessarily have to be with the type of kid; it's with the character, if you will.
Yeah.
I guess the easiest analog is the 5e kind of bonds. What are they? Bonds, ideals, and flaws, sort of thing. Except
That's right. Yeah.
they used a little bit more in Tales from the Loop than 5e, because we sort of write them on our character sheet in 5e and just be like, yeah.
So that's interesting because like you use 5 years as an example. I never consciously write those down beforehand. But what I generally do when playing 5e, being that the only thing I have actually played, is they just sort of happen through the story.
Yeah.
And so I usually, I mean, I'll try and pick some things, but usually I start with like a fairly generic character. But then as things start to happen, they develop into a real person.
Okay, I see what you're getting. Yeah. So the problem so typically the way Tales from the Loop goes is you have two types of scenes, as they call them. One that's at home and is mundane, in which case I will use the problem to stop you achieving things further on. So your problem will come up to keep you in the mundane. Now all you want to do is escape into the cool stuff. So that's kind of how it's used in that kind of way. So an idea or a vague problem now that you could sort of focus in on would be helpful.
Yeah, no, I've got something already. But guys, Martin and James, feel free to go with yours. I just need to flesh mine out a bit.
I literally have no idea. I was trying to think about it before and trying to come up with something that is because I can think of problems, but not necessarily that would be like extractable to be used by the DM. So like you can sort of think like I was thinking of being, because based on real life Preston, they moved here from Germany, so they were basically like new to the country.
Oh yeah, okay.
A little bit isolated and kind of like an alien in New York kind of thing. So I was thinking of being just like a little bit awkward and not really,
So the problem really is English is my second language.
Yeah, and kind of like the culture is my second culture. Like all these kids.
This is
so. It's not like I'm from another place kind of thing.
Yeah, that's generic and broad enough to make it a thing that's both cool and
Can my problem
awkward.
be I'm an alien? Because
really, I'm an alien. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
as in a foreigner. But you can take that to mean whatever you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Secretly, you are the mystery. Yeah.
The mystery's inside of us all along.
Yeah, sure. So all right. So
So I'm basically new in town.
yeah, sure.
Like,
I'm not from round here.
Yeah.
All right. And Martin, what did you think for your hick?
So I had a look at the ones that it suggested, and I'm not sure. One of them is like your parents are sick, but they won't admit it. But I was thinking that mostly for me would mean, rather than necessarily being sick, would be that I have because I'm getting older, I have more responsibility on the farm.
Oh,
and whether that be because my dad or my mum's sick and they can't help as much around the actual farm and I need to take up more responsibilities, or whether it's just like coming of age and it's time to grow up and be a man and start working on the farm more.
All right, yeah. So I'm supposed to take on the family business kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
He's in the hick mafia.
He's in the hick mafia, the notorious Lancashire hick mafia. What is the American thing? The Hatfields and the McCoys.
Yeah.
With the gold rush stuff, where they both hated each other but they shared the yeah. So the Lancashire mafia.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we've just invented half a dozen things that I need to remember for later. Cool. And
Yeah, but sorry. Yeah, I think I guess mine's a little bit similar to that in a way, but mine was going to be that just my parents make me volunteer to serve tea at church at really inconvenient times.
okay, yeah,
Pretty regularly.
I have
And
to-
I'll leave it as vague as that. I
have
won't
to
say
do
like
church
every Sunday,
service, yeah.
because then you can just throw it in. Because there could be a Wednesday night prayer meeting or whatever.
Midnight mass sometime, that
midnight,
kind of thing.
That kind of
That they'll
stuff.
make an 11-year-old serve tea at midnight. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
happen.
The price for your immortal soul. And then after that, there's a pride, something that your kid is secretly really proud of. After that, there is a drive. Something that makes the kid go out and explore the world, and get into weird situations and find the cool stuff and that kind of thing.
So mine was really easy. I kind of took it out of the book, but it works. That I love puzzles, so I like to see how things work and take things apart and put them back together again. Not necessarily mechanically, but like work out like logic problems and that kind of stuff. So yeah, just if there's a mystery, I'm kind of razor focused on how to solve it.
The mystery. All right.
Yeah, don't.
All right. I like it. Anybody else got an idea for a drive?
Yeah, it's kind of a case of like, if I'm not there, something's going to go wrong. And I need to be there to fix it when it does.
Yeah.
I like it.
You're very aware that like you can't leave other people to do things. It's like, no,
Nope.
if I'm not there, yeah, I like it.
God,
Last
these
one
kids.
day in the woods, you boy.
I love it.
I like it.
And what about our weirdo? Have they got a drive?
I'm gonna go with like, I'm the youngest one, so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna be a bit more sort of naive to the world. And I guess my thinking is like, there's like Star Wars has been out and other like great fantastical films and TV shows and things, the Twilight Zone, all that stuff, and all those stories must come from somewhere, right? They must be out there. There must be a way that people. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Okay, so like they must be true. Somebody must have worked
Well,
out. Not ne-
maybe-
oh, okay.
Maybe not so much that they're like literally true, but like those stories come from somewhere.
That's truth.
Weird things
There's
are
truth
happening
in
there.
it, sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Okay, like the truth. Okay, bit of a Mulder. Truth is out there. Fantastical things must happen. All right, yeah, okay, I like that. That's cool. And then that's where next we get our pride. So this is the thing that you are proud of. The thing that makes you feel like you are the special person. You can use your pride. It's a little bit like what's it called in Star Trek Adventures? Determination, if you've played that. So you can cross that out and gain a bonus kind of thing. You can break your pride and succeed at something which might be important towards the end of the mystery if you definitely need to achieve something. So your pride can be really sort of whatever you fancy. I like the weirdos ones, like my mom says I'm beautiful. It's one of the recommended ones.
I did want to call out this book again for the way it's written and the fairly clear idea I feel like whoever wrote this had in their mind for weirdo.
Yeah.
I got mine. It was the first thing I wrote.
Uh-huh.
So my pride is that I am Varazand the Great, Wanderer of the Wastes, First Sword of the House of Zyval, level 15 lawful good paladin. That's my pride. I am, in my head, I am Varazand the Great, and I am that. And when I play DM with my uncle, D&D with my uncle in my mum's basement, I am a hero, and that's my kind of pride. And I like that because I like the idea that this little geeky kid in some difficult, stressful situation out in the world can draw upon the fact that, no, I'm a mighty hero, and like
Paladin.
use that to kind of drive themselves forwards. I
Okay.
thought that was cool.
That is beautiful. That's cute. Oh. Anybody else gonna top that?
Of course,
I don't
Stop
think we
it.
can.
No, all right. Let's end the stream now. Stop the game before we get
I win the
anywhere.
stream.
You won. You won internet. But yeah, has anybody else thought about their pride, or do you maybe want to think a bit more about it?
Kind of like stuck between, because I like the helping other people sort of aspect of it, but also I like the idea of sort of a job well done, sort of
Oh, okay, yeah.
the sort of like the satisfaction of like once you've done all the hard labor and you can look over what you've done, you know, you get that sense of like pride from the hard work that you've put in.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So
Just put hard work in, I guess, as a pride.
yeah, or like yeah, I'm hard. I get the job done.
Yeah.
Is a good way to put it. I'm always stuck on it. Where is it?
As you're holding a wrench in one hand, looking slightly
Like
side
slightly mean.
I'll get the job
I'll
done.
get the job done. That's things from the flood. That darkness there.
Yeah.
That's later. But yeah, the I get the job done is a good kind of pride.
Dependable, kind of reliable.
Dependable, reliable.
Yeah.
Hick from the Lancashire farm mafia. Yeah. What's our weirdo thinking expert?
I'm really struggling. I'm
Okay.
open to suggestions.
What sort of person is this weirdo? What sort of obviously
I don't know him yet. I don't know
okay.
him.
All right, so do we want to think about it a little bit for the pride, because the pride is quite important. It'll change how you sort of
If you link it to your drive a little bit, like your drive is to kind of get out there and see what's in the world, and you've heard all these magical stories, and you've got to kind of see it to believe it. You could be like, your pride's that you are a believer, like you are open-minded, and you're kind of that naivety of being 10 or 11, sorry,
11. Get it right. It's important.
Come
Yeah.
on, dude. Yeah.
in that you're not as cynical. You've not kind of been digging graves for cows at midnight like the hick has. You're kind of like fresh-faced and naive, and like you've got that, like you could be proud of the fact that you're not tainted by the corruption and evil that's in the world.
Like
that'd be cool,
I
like-
know there is magic out there, or I know
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
know
but
things.
you're a true. Like,
Oh yeah,
that might be-
I'm a true believer. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily say what you believe, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
You doesn't have to kind of go in with the whole serving the tea.
That does tie in with the church aspect as well, even
Yeah.
if it's not supposed to be directly linked in that way.
It's also what Stan Lee used to call people who were part of, like, all right, true believers.
yeah,
It's a comic book thing. You used to call them everybody. Yeah. Oh, Stan Lee.
Cool. I'm sold.
All right.
Do
So a true believer. I'm a true believer. We need to work out how you all know each other. So that's the next bit, like the relationships between each of the kids. That sort of keeps you all together. We don't have any key NPCs yet to know how we relate to them. But we are all going to pick like our anchor, and our anchor's important because time spent with them is how the kid will remove conditions. Like it's not like other systems where you go to bed for a night and then the next day you're better. If you don't spend time with your anchor, or you don't, your friends don't help you, you'll just stay angry for days.
Can the anchor be TV?
No, it has to be a person.
Damn it.
So I've already touched on mine. My anchor is my uncle Desmond, who's not
the DM.
who's the DM who runs the game in my mum's basement. He's not actually my uncle. He's a family friend, who we call Uncle because he's always around.
Oh, hello.
That's what you did in the 80s, though, isn't it? I remember
Yeah.
my house was being decorated, and suddenly the painter was Uncle Andy. He wasn't my uncle. No, he wasn't related to anyone.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my next door neighbours were Auntie Shirley and Uncle Chris, and they weren't. They were just, that's what I called them. Yeah.
So he's going to be your anchor. So that's Uncle Desmond, who also is your DM.
Yeah, so when I'm stressed out, I'm going to go sit in a basement and funnel whatever emotion through my character, because I can't express it personally, but
Oh, okay. So
Varazand can be angry, and Varazand can be scared, and he can overcome his things, and then
through.
So you're gonna go. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and play D&D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's therapy. So like, if I've seen a monster, I don't know how to process it, but I can go in and go, like, and my DM goes, so what happened today? And I go, well, Varusam sought out a cave and there was a monster and he was scared. And the DM could be like, roll your skit, and then you
This
can
is
talk
like
through it
season
without
2 of Stranger Things. It's like, can we play D&D now?
Yeah.
No.
It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna carry dice with me in a character sheet at all times. Like, right, time out, right. Let's roll some
Alright.
dice.
I need to roll a character.
Yeah.
I need to check the monsters manual. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And how does your kid know the other 2 kids? Is it through D&D club at whatever, or
I severely doubt that
anybody else is that nerdy?
Yeah, I don't think the Hick and I would be playing D&D together.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I think potentially, it might be cool if I know the weirdo. We need to think of names for people. Though I was thinking like a good way to know the weirdo is if my mum goes to church and drags me along to Sunday school, even though I don't
You
I'm
sit
just sitting in
away.
the corner playing my computer, and I've just happened to have seen and had a couple of conversations
You're like
with
the only other kid there.
with the weirdo because like you were wearing a comic book T-shirt or a reference, like a badge with a comic, and we kind of chatted like, oh, I know that show. Have you watched this? And
It doesn't even
that
have to
kind
be
of
that. If I did get to draw my real life experience, when I went to church, there was a good 10-year age gap either side of me.
Oh wow.
From like the next youngest person was like a toddler or a baby to early 20s, just got married in the church and starting to have kids. And then me just stuck in the middle.
yeah.
70.
Nobody.
All right. So
I can.
our computer geek is also dragged to church where they meet the weirdo.
Yep, I like that. That sounds
Alright.
good.
And then
kind of
our computer
chat.
geek, maybe helps the Hick
With homework.
with homework,
Yeah,
with
I'm cool with that, yeah.
fixing one of the agri drones that
Yeah, I
tends
like to
the
think that
farm.
like he knows of me through like I don't know if he'd still be at school or like
yeah,
through
he's
school.
got you're 15, you
Yeah.
still have to be at school, so through
And,
like robotics
like-
club or something.
Yeah,
or...
you know I'm a nerd, and I've come to you for hardware, and you've come
Yeah.
to me for software. So I'm like, I've got this great idea for a robot, but I can't build it. My hands don't work. Hey, you
Okay.
can weld, can't you? You can build stuff, and if you do that for me, I'll show you how to download those images you wanted.
Blueprints, yes.
Yes,
That's what
very
we were.
blueprints.
All right, okay, so that's that. Anybody else know who or have an idea for their anchor? Who's their adult that'll go and help them out?
Yeah, mine would be my great granddad Frank.
Okay,
Who,
Granddad Frank. Great Granddad Frank.
He helps out on the farm a little bit, grows his own potatoes, and
Does he have a
knows just
special shed where he grows his special produce?
yes, totally.
It's far end of the
um,
farm, and your dad just wants him to get his own allotment. There you go.
knows what to say to help calm me down, but also if I'm like feeling ill, knows that a Lucasade and a cottage pie will keep him nice and healthy.
Oh yes. Oh gosh, yes. All right. And how do you know the other kids? So you could your version of how you know the bookworm could be slightly different to how the bookworm
Computer geek.
think. The computer geek. Sorry, how the computer geek thinks they know you. If that makes sense, because it's your understanding of how you're friends, or at least
Yeah.
associates.
So if you'd come to me, he basically came to me asking me to help build a thing, which, I normally build things. I don't normally get to see things that are built and have their own, AI in them. Everything I get is driven or manual.
Okay.
rather than having something else programming it. So I'm very sort of intrigued, and also the more I see you sort of working on the computer stuff and seeing how it works, kind of grow to appreciate your softer hands and skills.
Soft skills
This is
are
my soft
important.
hand.
All right. Oh gosh, love it. And how do you know the weirdo? I mean, again, it could be part of this could be you're all forced to go to Sunday school. Like, that's not an unreasonable thing. Or...
No, it's not. Yeah, it's a kind of thing that like a farmer would go to.
Yeah.
The one thing they get dressed up for.
Yeah, basically the one place I have to wear normal clothes apart from school where I wear a uniform.
Proper
not my,
pants, a shirt, a tie. Have you brushed your hair? Wash your face.
Yeah.
Get in the car. We're going to town.
I bet you look like one of those like footballers when they have an interview on TV and it's like, this is not my outfit. I look so uncomfortable.
PR lady has told me to be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly happy to have to go to church because I don't enjoy any part of it really.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're 15 and you don't really have a choice here.
Yeah, I don't have a choice. I have to go. But like, it's a kind of thing where everybody else is way too old for me to sort of hang out with whatsoever. And I guess I'll hang out with this guy at church.
These kids.
This little kid at church.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the fact that we're the only three of vaguely dissimilar ages.
No,
So it's
a
like
good sort
you
of-
just have
happens,
to hang
isn't
out
it?
because it's the only three there.
Yeah, it's a good kind of link
Yeah.
for how you know each other. I mean, a lot of folks quite often pick like, oh, we're in the babysitters, like the same babysitter does it, or we all go to band class or something. But this is quite unique. Like I've never had a group of players who've said, no, we're all stuck in Sunday school kind of thing.
It's cool as well because it gives us potentially somewhere to like have as a hangout. Like,
Well, that's another thing we're going to pick later on. You get to pick your own hideout. You get to pick your own hideout later on. And there are some special things about the hideout that kind of keeps you safe from trouble and stuff. It's like the place where you can run away to if it's all getting too much.
Yeah, because we've got like sanctuary.
Yeah,
No
literally.
demons can come in.
Literally. And it's also a little bit cool if you think like the computer geek has a paladin.
Yeah.
And he wants to. He will go back to the sanctuary. And yeah, so there's all kinds of like. I'm loving it already. So what about our weirdo? How does the weirdo know the computer geek? And how it doesn't have to just be that you all go to Sunday school together.
and we could have other connections.
Do
Yeah.
you need our anchor as well? So I was thinking about that.
Yeah, anchor as well.
I have this really, I don't know what. Hopefully you'll agree. I have this what I think is a nice idea, where my parents are really, really into the whole church stuff, which is why I have to go along all the time.
Yeah.
But the vicar isn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the vicar or the priest is like they're just they believed long ago and now they're just jaded, but it's their job.
Yeah.
So they go
yeah.
to church and they do it and they do the house visits. And I'd like him to be my anchor because I think like he's probably having to answer my parents' questions all the time, like come round and like bless the chicken or whatever. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. We've got a new car. You need to you need to bless
He needs
it.
a blessing. Yeah.
We're starting a new project at work. We need a blessing.
Yeah.
So he's around a lot, but
yeah.
then we'll have these like sort of stolen moments where like. The
Oh,
parents
don't
have
talk
got
about
to
having
pray.
stolen moments with the vicar.
No.
That's moving in a different direction.
where he sort of drops the facade because he's around me. He's just like, this is all just
All right.
crap.
I like the idea that one day you went to church and you just found that he's got like a bottle of whiskey under the podium, and he's like,
or like up on the dais, he's got like the latest Marvel comic because he can recite the homily or whatever.
Yeah. All the
Ad verbum, and he's just like, oh look, Wonder Woman picks up the hammer of Thor. Have you seen chapter 34?
Of course, he's looking at Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, and that kind of thing.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so the slightly jaded, this is just my job, priest or vicar. What's their name?
It needs to be some play on the vicar from The Simpsons because he's jaded too.
Oh,
Lovejoy.
Lovejoy.
Joy love.
Hate joyless.
Joyless. Okay.
Reverend Joyless.
Reverend Joyless, and he's lived to become
Becomes
what his name dictates. Okay.
I like to think that he's very aware of the irony in that as well. He's like, yes, I know.
all through his youth he was like, no, it's such an irony, and all in his old life he's like, yeah, no, it's true.
I got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got there in the end.
Yeah. Okay. So how does the weirdo know the computer geek? What is the link?
I mean, we've already sort of touched a bit on like Marvel comics and stuff there, and I like the whole like t-shirt idea. I reckon probably
Films or
because
something?
I would have been going to the church from like being dead young.
Like, yeah, since they poured water over your face and you've
I
been there every
literally,
day.
obviously, like my thing about being new in town, I would have just come very recently, like just.
Exactly.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So I bet what probably would have happened actually. We would have turned up to church one Sunday morning, and because my parents were all like really into it and like the whole stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, there's new people. Oh, new friends. Oh, little Chrissy or whatever my character's gonna be called. Oh, you go talk to that nice young boy there. Make him feel welcome. Make them want to come again and again."
Oh, okay. So.
Oh, I love the idea that we had a forced play date. I just kind of got invited around to your house one day, and you're like, "Who's this?" It's like, "It's your new friend." It's like, okay, and we just sat awkwardly like, so.
But one of those sort of like, they're from Germany.
Yeah.
Make sure they read the right Bible. Here's one he can take home.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I love,
All
and
right.
we just sort of sat at the kitchen table like, so do you like comics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel like the hick?
The hick's a harder one. I mean, we've got the Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, like, just tell me a bit about like the hick side with the tinkering. Is it all just like technology type stuff?
So
It's more.
Oh, go on.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say it's more like mechanical tinkerings, like making, fixing tractors and
Yeah.
building the actual physical body of it. Not necessarily Obviously, I could roll for that, but as an actual character, it wouldn't be anything to do with the software or anything like that.
No, it could be like crafting though, like
Yeah.
making a shelf or carving.
Yeah.
that
DIY
kind of thing, 'cause there's
and
no-
that kind of stuff.
There's no craft skill per se. I would say tinker. Yeah.
Is it?
Because I could imagine a scenario where like because like I mean I know this because I do but like churches are like big community buildings and there's all kinds of things that need fixing and mending.
Oh yeah, it's like repair the church roof.
And all that stuff. So like it could have been that say like I don't know one of your parents was like roped into doing that, whether they were interested in church or not, because it's like a thing, and then you were just sort of like tagging along with them to like learn how to
There's
fix stuff.
a suggestion in chat that it could be that you were like picking up groceries from the farm, or
Oh, like
okay.
produce
Like-
for the church, for the
Yeah.
harvest and that
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, let's go with that.
and that
Oh,
like
okay.
when you do all the church events and fates and stuff, you could be the like Martin could be the one
okay.
that's like, oh yeah, here's the cabbages or
here's the
whatever.
cabbage. Here's some
yeah.
milk or that kind of
Yeah,
And then you
and,
both end up having to do that all the.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
'cause that
that's
gives us
quite
some,
cool.
it gives us some different settings as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Cool.
you, Brett, 1975.
That's a good one. Yeah,
God.
we like it.
I do not like having to thank Brett, but it was a good idea.
No, we're always thankful to chat, unless chat is being naughty, and then when we have to tell them off, and then we go back to liking chat again. But,
Yeah.
but we're not going to be naughty because the one rule.
Yeah. One ring.
The one ring to bind them, and in the
That's how we know each other. We've all been to Mordor, but we didn't simply walk there.
And then we need to name our kids, which I think in like the countdown of how to make a character should have come a lot earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think we should have named our kids a while ago. But okay, we'll name them now. So has anybody picked a name? Now we know kind of roughly what our kid is like.
I feel like as a weirdo, I could very easily just have been called by all the kids at school just the weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely.
I think you should have a proper like evangelical name like Isaiah or
Gabriel.
Ezekiel or Abraham or like one of those
Yeah, something.
like
Job.
Job.
Oh, poor Job.
And you could go really on the nose and just be like Christian.
Yeah, that's great. Because then
Well, duh.
Yeah, Christian. Because they
Yeah.
just wanted to really reinforce you are Christian.
it's so good at putting a name on it.
Yeah.
I am going for Preston.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Because
Reasons.
because they. I was trying to think that they named them when they moved here. Maybe.
No, it's just one of those unfortunate coincidences.
Yeah.
They've moved
I
to
think they moved to Preston.
because
and,
as if being a kid from another country at school isn't enough. You have to be named after the town you've moved to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like it. Preston. Christian, Preston, and what do you picked for your guy, Martin?
It'll be called Butch.
Butch. It's one
I'd
of
like
your...
to. I'd like to think that's not your real name. That's just what everyone knows you as, even the teachers. And your real name's like, I don't know, Wilfred or something.
Yeah.
Just call me Butch.
I've got this image of Martin's character being like the 15-year-old at school who's got a full beard already. Remember
Yeah.
those kids?
Oh, I shouldn't have
Those
shaved. I should have left my beard on.
Yeah, there's like a full beard already, and the teachers sometimes mistake you for like the caretaker or something.
Yeah, I love that.
Just like they're like, oh no, Butch, sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
get all the first years running up to you going, sir, and you're like, I'm not a
You
teacher.
turn up in like overalls with like mud and hay sticking out.
Oh,
of your
that'd be
trousers.
great if you've got your school uniform on, but over the top you've got overalls. It's like, I'm wearing my uniform, but I'm
Yeah.
also practical.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Love
So
it.
we've got Preston, Christian, and Butch. Excellent.
Yeah.
I love it. So the next bit we get to pick. We're not going to do it now, I think. But a general description, and then one of my favorite bits is a favorite song, like a favorite song for the kid from the 80s, sort of thing.
The Conan the Destroyer theme by Basil Poledouris.
Oh, you researched that already? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the music that plays when I play D&D.
Okay, yeah.
Dramatic, rousing, battle
Dramatic,
music.
rousing battle music. I like.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a favorite song, or do you want to go back to Spotify and go through all the 80s
Just let me
playlists?
quick look at 80s.
If you want to know some 80s songs, I can tell you a lot of them.
Yeah. What did I?
Might have to go look. I might have to go for one that's like slightly risque that I don't like listening to around my parents.
Yeah, like a song you're not really allowed to listen to.
Love
at
to think
home.
that you're into like proper hard rock stuff, like not Sex Pistols, like Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses or something. Like
Yeah.
secret
Something-
metalhead.
Something terrifyingly death metal. And you know what the words are, but nobody else does.
Yeah.
Kiss. Glass City Knuckles says Kiss.
Good.
Gosh, that would have been definitely not a Christian approved band. All right, so we'll think about that, and we'll talk about that another time. Queen.
Yeah, have a look.
Brett's got some good ideas tonight. Brett,
Yeah.
1975 Queen.
Oh,
Queen's a good one.
Radio Gaga. Done.
Radio
Queen's a
Gaga.
good one as well, especially because that fits into your not exactly approved of by your parents
Yeah,
because of the
Freddie
lead singer.
Mercury was
They
not
disapprove of
approved.
his lifestyle.
Did it have? When was that like known? I mean,
I
just
think
in
the
general.
80s.
I
Probably
think it
lead
was
singer.
always known,
Was it?
Yeah.
but nobody
Okay.
sort of said it. It was that kind of don't mention it.
The war.
Yeah, don't mention
Yeah.
the war. Don't mention it. Same with Elton John, wasn't it? Don't don't say any fabulous
One of
over
those
the
well-known
top-
secrets.
over the top thing, but don't mention the homosexuality because that might make everybody upset. It won't, but it might, but it won't, kind of thing.
It'd be cool if you pick Queen. We can have a moment of like Wayne's World. I don't know when Bohemian Rhapsody was released. I think in the 70s, isn't it? So it's all
I
good.
don't know. This is the alternate 80s, so we can just say it
Whatever
happened
we like.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Dua Lipa. She was in the 80s, right? Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna think about some tracks. Martin, did Butch have a favorite track?
I know the only thing that's coming to my head. I've just got Duran Duran stuck in my head.
I mean, Duran Duran
That's
are
a
all.
good thing to have stuck.
That's so cool. This like Butch, like 6 foot tall, beardy guy listening to "Hungry Like the Wolf," and
I'm hungry like that.
I love that.
On a stereo in a barn
Yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah.
Just
thing.
whacking someone with a wrench. Her name is Rio, and she. That's great. Yeah. I love it. I mean, I love Duran Duran, so yeah, I'm all up for that.
Yeah, why not? The Archers theme. No, I don't think. No, that's not.
Surely country music. but
Country
yeah,
music.
it's
No,
too on the nose.
not in Lancashire. Not in the Lancashire farm mafia. You know.
Duran Duran would be amazing.
Duran Duran. Okay, something from Duran Duran.
Especially because they're named after the robot in Barbarella, which is a famous sci-fi show that I love.
Yeah,
So
Barbarella's cool.
as a computer geek, so I can appreciate that
Or
you love
T'Pau.
Duran Duran, and I will constantly tell you about that reference.
T'Pau for the
T'Pau's
Star
great,
Trek, Star Trek name. So we get to pick our hideout. We get to pick so the hideout is a place where the games master is not allowed to make trouble happen, and one of the few places you are allowed to have PvP and a full out fight among yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
It might be a bit unfair.
Like the only bad thing that can happen in the hideout is you all have a scrap or an argument, or you all fall out.
I mean, the full-on fight, Martin, might be in D&D in Tales from the
Yeah.
Loop.
That's true. Yeah. Then I'll lose because I'm like, I don't understand how. These
Why are we
numbers
using
work.
so many
3 kids
dice,
enter, one
guys?
holds a wrench, and then 1 kid leaves. Like,
What's a
nothing happened.
Thaco?
I think it might be cool if we use the church,
Yeah, so there's the church.
but
the
not
other...
necessarily the church, but like
There-
maybe like some
In every
grounds or a
church,
shed
there
or
is
something.
always like a weird, disused back room with like an old broken piano in, and those emergency chairs that they've got for like the
It's
fate.
the place where the
never
scouts and the
happened.
brownies aren't allowed to go.
Yes.
Like when they have that part, they have a massive hall,
Yeah.
and then there's a room at the end of that, and the scouts and the brownies aren't allowed to go there. Nobody can quite remember where the key is kept.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I'm going to say, actually, because maybe I've got the key because my dad did some working on the roof.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Sure.
cool.
You've just
You know,
got
like,
the key.
I've got the key.
Most old churches have like the vicar's quarters in the church.
Yeah.
Nowadays, most vicars don't actually live in the church.
They've got the
It
house.
could be like
yeah.
the old disused, like that's been locked forever, but you've got the key that you found in a bunch of old rusty keys. Yeah, I like that idea. And we just kind of sneak into the old vicar's quarters that's just full of.
Just a couple of like slightly damp rooms. That
One old half bottle of communion wine we found.
Yeah. Butch is not mentioned. It's Butcher's cordial.
And then just like a
Cordial.
random tap that just sticks out of the wall,
beamer.
like you get on the side of
Yeah, on the
council
outside,
buildings,
and just a tap.
randomly there.
Couple of plugs.
Yeah.
Some hymn books from 1968
Yeah.
that have got the
made-
wrong version of Jerusalem in.
Yeah, we've made seats out of old. Well, there's those pillars in nylon to like
Oh
Oh, yeah, yeah.
a couple of those thrown around.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
cool.
Stacks of those, stacks of them.
that's your so that's your hideout. It's a room in the sort of far end of the church where nobody kind of knows you're there. Nobody else has got access to because Butch has got the only key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And the only light is from like a dingy, like a very grimy but stained glass window.
oh, really pretty. And then it's like a place that Butch is kind of like, yeah, this is our place. It's a chapel for our paladin, and it's the quietest spot in the church for Christian, who can just go away and hide there when it's like, oh, go off and make tea with Doris. Doris is 78 and doesn't stop talking about the archers, and you can
And
just
Christian's like, I just need to go get the sugar from over here. Like,
just leave. Okay. So there are a couple of questions that the book kind of also gives to ask the group, and then once we've kind of done that, I think that's pretty much sort of session 0, and we'll go away and we'll work out what next week will be, and make something that will torment or delight or surprise our 3 kids. Who in the group has the most to say? Who is the most sort of chatty person? Who is the person that is always, when they go, oh, it's you 3, and they're the first one to kind of go, well, kind of thing, and that kind of stuff? Who is that?
I would have thought it would be me, but that might not necessarily be true.
it depends.
Is it like
you're the eldest, so would you be like kind of the eldest speaking for the youngest, or because you're a bit of a hick, like would you be kind of a bit more quiet?
Irreverent. All right,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were going the other way.
Like what you say is really important, but you don't
You don't
You don't
say it that much.
spew words very often.
You're thinking like a hick in the same way as Daryl from like The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It barely says anything, but when he says like 2 words, it means like incredible
Yeah.
amounts.
not like obviously 2 words, but like
Yeah.
um,
No, like I don't mind either way. I guess it depends on, because I'm not sure how talkative everybody is. So,
Well, I guess this is to a certain degree what we're trying to establish.
Yeah.
The past, this adventure might change everyone, and circumstances might put us out of those comfort zones. But when you guys have like been found in the scouts hall, because you have to go through the scouts hall to get to your secret place, and everybody goes, Butch, what are you all doing here? Or is it not Butch they expect to answer?
I think it would be Butch. I think people in like I'd like to think that to kids and to each other, I would talk a lot about things I'm passionate about. So like if there's a mystery or robots and things.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as a teacher or an adult tried to talk, I would hit this automatic like, oh,
Yeah,
All right.
can't talk. But Butch is kind of already their equal anyway, so he would be like, yeah, I'm just looking after these stupid kids who've got lost. Don't worry, I've got it sorted.
roll my eyes and make up something.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So Butch is the most to say in whenever you're cornered by a grown up. What have you all thought about recently?
Thought or fought?
Thought with like, what have you all? Ugh,
Got
you
an
take
argument
that
about
back.
it.
Princess Leia is the best princess ever. Or no, man. Wonder Woman would never have do that. Batman would totally lose against the lasso of truth. Or Green Lantern. I bet they'll make an amazing film one day. I've got faith.
Yeah.
What have you all thought about recently?
What would we fight about?
I don't think what dumb stuff I used to fight about.
I'm trying to think. I'm passionate about computers and games and fantasy.
Mhm.
So for me to get angry about something, it would have to be related to that. Like, who's better, Legolas or Gimli? Or like, who's the better wizard, Gandalf or Merlin? That kind
Who's
of
the
thing.
better wizard, Gandalf or Shazam?
Yeah. Like, who would win, the Marvel
Not Shazam.
Marvel characters or Lord of the Rings? It's like Legolas is such a better archer than Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like,
You're triggering me now, so yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so something kind of
Fantasy battle
what
royale.
am I trying to? Yeah, fantasy battle royale. You
Yeah.
It's
I feel
top
like-
trumps, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fantasy
Yeah.
top trumps.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
you should be like arguing about this against each other, and I'd just be like, neither of them matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care. They're both pointless.
Yeah, and we're like,
And then-
it's not pointless. It's
No,
really
it's
important.
and that's where we then turn on you. We're like,
yeah, that's
no.
it. You both turn on me, like united
Yeah.
against one person.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So you've all thought about whether it's actually relevant, and then
Yeah.
it breaks down into which one is more relevant, and it's just
Yep.
been a whole. And Butch
Yep.
is there just going,
Two-tier argument.
and, like Christian
Like,
is just
stupid
like,
kids.
"Whoa,
Stop
it's
arguing
really
over two
important." Yeah, all right.
fictional
Okay.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who is? Oh, I guess we've kind of answered that. I was going to say who is the leader of the group, but it like defaults to Butch because they're older and they're the most talkative. But who is Butch still the real leader of the group, or is it secretly someone else?
I think, in a sense, I would be the kind of brains, because obviously
Yeah.
I've got the brain. So, like, if there's a plan, Butch would look at me and go, like, right, I trust you to come up with the plan, and then
Yeah.
I will take us through it. So, in
I
a
feel like I'm
sense,
more the
that-
muscle in that kind of regard. Like I might be the
Yeah.
face, but I'm not the leader.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and I wouldn't take charge, but I would be the one that goes, okay, right, this is how we should go through it, maybe.
Sure. I like that.
And then Butch would be like, right, guys, Preston's got the idea. You know what you're doing, and you would be the one that kind of prompts me to get on with it and stuff like that, and motivate me. But
Okay.
I like the idea that I'm the sort of smarts behind it.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Cool.
again, it would depend. I think that would only be related to things and stuff.
Mhm.
So if it's research, but if it's people, then Christian, who has spoken to everyone in the village and knows everyone's secrets and knows who Doris is having an affair with because he's been around church gossip forever.
I mean,
Would
that'd be a
definitely be the
brilliant
person we-
concept for a popular kid. Somebody who just sits next to the confessional.
Yeah.
Just sits
just
next to the
learns
confessional
everything.
and takes notes, lies on top of it, and
Yeah.
takes notes. Oh man, that would be a brilliant
Yeah.
concept for them.
Yeah, I'd like to think that we defer to Christian for like people skills in a sense because he's
All right,
got
so
that.
so is
like,
the answer to
neither
the
of-
question like who is the leader of the group? Everybody thinks it's Butch, but it's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah,
Okay.
they think it's me, but it usually goes to one of the other two. Actually,
Yeah.
either it's people or plans.
I think I'd like to think that Butch knows that we think it's you, but you're self-aware enough to kind of take that position, but also reflect a lot back of it on us. Like you go, yeah, okay, I'll take the responsibility and like the power of being leader, but I'll actually make you do all the work.
I like it. Butch is smart.
Yeah,
Butch
Teaching
is
how it
smart.
works.
yeah, street smart. You get the job done. If that makes other people doing it, you're still getting it done.
I like it. That's really cool. So going from now, we've got our group. Do we have like are we the Scooby Gang? Are we the Sunday school misfits? The breakfast club? What are we?
What's the name of the group?
We don't have to pick a name, but I feel like sometimes it's quite cool that we have one.
The Sunday schoolers, because then our initials could be the SS. Oh no, wait.
No, no, Preston, bad.
I would like to think that Preston's idea would be like the champions of Zyvel. Like,
All right,
I would
okay.
like to call us out my D&D party name, but I don't know if everyone else would agree to that.
Yeah.
I think they'd probably be like, no, shut
No, shut up.
up.
Shut up. The odd group, says Brett, because all your ages are odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The odds. The odd buds.
Oddballs.
The odd balls. Like, okay. Maybe something like that.
The prime, well, not prime numbers, are
Odd
we?
socks.
The odd socks.
Sucks.
Like that's the other end of the other end of the stick. It's like when somebody from the church finds you in the scout hall, and they look at Butch and they go, Butch, what are you odd socks doing here in this place? Yeah, that kind of thing.
I kind of like that idea because we aren't all similar. We're very different characters.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that someone like the priest is just offhand gone, what are you odd socks doing? Meaning like you kind of weird random people.
Yeah, you lost.
We've taken it like Lost
Odd.
Boys.
Yeah.
Should be the Lost.
No,
Um,
like when the concept of the odd socks, there must be something lost somewhere, mustn't there?
Yeah.
And you're lost here in some part of the church you shouldn't be, and you're all
Yeah.
a little bit odd. All right, so we're
Yeah,
the
I
odd
like that.
socks. We're the
I
odd
kind of
socks.
like that.
Yep.
We're the champions of Zyvel.
In Preston's. Yeah.
Preston said, yes.
Yeah. Everything falls back to this
Awesome
Zydel.
champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Champions of Zydel. Yeah. Odd
And
socks.
it's going to be what that Star Trek episode where it's Darmok and Jalad.
Oh, Jarmak and
Tanagra.
Jalad. Yeah, Tanagra. When the
Yeah.
walls fell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shaka when the walls fell.
When the walls fell.
That's going to be my reference to everything. If there's a problem, it's like, this is just like when the Goblin King tried to corner me. And they're like, it's not D&D, it's real life. It's like, but wait, we just need to acrobatics up the tree. It's like, you can't do that in real life.
I had a wonderful conversation with someone. I don't know if everybody's watched The Expanse like fully, but there was like a whole meme conversation where we were like Bobby Draper at the ocean,
Yeah.
Naomi on the Somalia list, and that kind of stuff. And it was all that Damak and Tanagra kind of conversation.
I saw a great thing in that someone actually just listed a load of memes like and it was
Leo
like a cat,
raising a glass.
Yeah, a cat at a dinner table looking confused, and it's like I know what that is.
Yeah,
I know what it means. It's like
The cat confused eating salad.
yeah,
John Travolta looking back and forth.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and we know what it means.
I love that meme.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, so we are the Odd Socks. We have our secret hideout in the far back end of the church we all met in at Sunday school. We are Preston the computer geek, Christian the weirdo, and Butch the hick. what kind of adventure do we want to send them on? Typically in Tales from the Loop, they fall into 3 categories, which is human error mysteries, which means somewhere someone has made something and it's gone horribly wrong.
Excellent.
And you might find out that it's gone horribly wrong and report it to someone. Someone might be like, and you kids are the only one who can help me keep this under wraps. That kind of stuff. Conflicts, which is between two separate things. A scientist, one of the examples, a scientist uses runaway kids as human tissue samples in a cyborg factory. What do we do? Do we get the grown-ups? Do we change? Do we save the kids? There is a conflict between 2 sets of people going on, or mischief. It's about other kids have caused this problem for fun, and now it's all gone wrong. What is the sort of ones? What is the one that is like, no, I'm not interested in that kind of thing? What do we not want to do?
I think in like order of interest, it goes in that order that you just described them all.
Right.
To me, like I like the idea of. To me, it's like someone has messed it up. It's like, and I will fix it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I
the
think-
human error mystery style stories.
Yeah, or I think it'd be interesting that if it was like a company or organization or an individual or someone has done something and it threatens the town, but it's being like hidden or protected or whatever, and then we find out but no one believes it's because we're kids, and then we've got to either expose it or stop it or
that's
that kind of
the
thing.
overriding thing. Whenever we get to the end of, everything then goes back to normal. You still have to go to Sunday school, and there's lots of homework due on Monday, and the grown-ups are like, no, you've got to take the bins out.
Yeah.
It's like, but I saved the town from nuclear war. It's like, yeah, sure you did.
Yeah, whatever, kids. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose even like the kids' mischief though could still have like far-reaching consequences.
Yeah, they all can have really far-reaching consequences.
Yeah.
It's just a very different style of stuff. Like the conflict one is very sort of confrontational. Like you might be on one side, it might be that something in your group has been affected, and so there's very much like sort of people conflict, or the mischief one is more about like to save this or to fix this, we probably have to get in trouble with the grown-ups and do, is that an interesting thing to explore? And then the human error ones is directly like it is inevitably going to involve one central grown-up that you may like or not like, and what they've done you have to deal with the fallout of. Like, and I guess to a point we're sort of spoiling the mystery, but if I made a sort of mischief one and you really weren't interested in that kind of stuff, the next 7 weeks would be boring.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when we say Dungeons and Dragons. Do we want one that's high political drama, or do we want one that's Dungeon of the Week?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I made a Dungeon of the Week one and you're not really you're not really into that kind of stuff, then we're all going to get bored fast. And then what's the point? So, on the other hand,
yeah, it's hard because elements of all of them, in part, are interesting. Like, I like the idea that you have to do a little bit of mischief to solve a problem. But that problem could easily be that someone messed up and you're gonna so you can kind of link them in.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of why I'm saying what's the one that is least interesting? What's the one that we don't want the most of in this session, in this sort of tales?
Give us them again.
So
I think conflict is my least.
So human error. These are about people's inability to manage the great things they have created. Conflicts are about the tension between 2 or more parties who want opposite things, and mischief is about other kids who create problems for fun.
I agree with James then. Yeah, the conflict one is what I'm least interested in.
Yeah, so we don't want like 2 opposing, like I guess you kind of
Factions.
got that between yourselves with the Preston on one side and Christian on the other and Butch in the middle going, look, it doesn't matter, it's all imaginary, guys, come on.
Yeah.
We've got our own conflict going on already.
I do like the idea as well that we're all kind of outcasts in a sense. So Christian obviously is a weirdo, and so people think of him as that church boy. I don't have any friends apart from my uncle Desmond.
Yeah, you're an alien, you're a foreigner.
Yeah, and Butch is kind of ostracized for being like from the country and not really into city folk.
It might not be that.
Dumb.
It might be that Butch doesn't have the time to take part in football club. And,
it's all trivial.
And all that to Butch is trivial because he's got to go back. He's got to fix the dairy shed, make sure great granddad is actually home and not going to stay out until his shed at 10 o'clock at night and freeze like he did last November. And also that, he's done the washing before Sunday because he will get grief if he's not clean for that kind of stuff. So he doesn't have time.
Because we're all kind of like outcasts, it's cool that there might be like a Back to the Future, like Biff Tannen type kids, or the popular kids that are our kind of rivals and might be the ones that will be take that mysterious money off a stranger to go, hey kids, do you want to go and do this? And then they get like break a window, throw a baseball through a window and it hits a shrink ray, and then like we're all shrunk or what, like I like the idea that there is a bunch of other like.
All right, so there's rivals around,
but not necessarily in a they fight us way, but they could go and do something that we have to go. Oh, all
right, so they might be part of the human error, or they might be part of the mischief.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I've got some things we can kind of do. We won't set up like the found socks, like the alternate ones for you to get into a fight with. But there is a group, be it I don't know, the football team or the science club, which you'll obviously not go into because you're all religious nuts.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Okay. All right, so we can make that. The next bit, and it's entirely up to you. Do we want this to be in like some sort of holidays, or do we want it to be part of school time? Do we want to?
Oh, that's right.
Because this kind of affects like your home life, the mundane side of what we're gonna do. If you're in some sort of holidays, that's
summer holidays.
The summer holidays.
Nice shout.
Okay.
Because you've got a lot of work to do, Martin.
Yeah.
Your Butch does probably, so that's like a challenge for you.
Summer Fates, Harvest Festival. Raising donations for the church might come in for Christian.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I guess time is more wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, I guess it's that beautiful time where we all remember what we did in the summer. The Calvin and Hobbes thing, where like strangely summer holidays last 17 hours but 5 minutes.
I think it might be interesting to do a little bit of both, in that either the week or 2 weeks before you leave, like so you can have a little bit of that.
Oh, is this Butch's last summer holidays?
Yeah, before he leaves school.
Yeah,
okay.
And
I have to work full time on the farm.
All right.
And like we can have that little bit of school setting where we have to manage our other people at the school, and we can meet the rival popular kids, and we can have that bit of like robotics club and that kind of thing. But then we know that this thing's happening. Summer's coming up. We've got time to do it, and we can go. And then when we actually do it, it's summer, and then at the end of it.
All right, so maybe one
Butch
or two.
walks off into the sunset, kind of thing.
All right. So what happens after Tales from the Loop is Things for the Flood, where we're all teenagers, and you can die. So there is options if we have fun and we don't decide that Martin has broken the system and it's just not worth playing anymore.
We all expect him to.
Yeah, no, I do. It's I don't think it's I don't think it's a particularly complex system. So if we are gonna hack the planet kind of thing. It's not the beauty of Free League and Year Zero Engine is it's quite easy to hack and break and that kind of stuff. But if we don't decide it's broken and it's irrevocably broken, there is the scope for
then it's like
the things from the flood.
Where the kids in Derry start as kids and then they come back.
Yeah.
Obviously as adults, but like you come back as
Yeah,
teenagers.
you'd be I think it's like 16 to 18. 16, yeah, 15 to 18 kind of thing. So there's scope for Butch and Preston and Christian to do a second adventure kind of thing. All right, so we've got the Odd Socks. We've got our folks together there. We know we don't want to have a fight with another rival gang or anybody else. We're going to have a last couple of weeks of school. Something is going to happen. And it's going to be the best summer for Butch ever.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. I think I have got some nefarious plans. Shall we meet again? 8 o'clock next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. I'm in. Yep.
Excellent.
Definitely.
That's I
Definitely
like
sounds good.
organising RPG sessions on stream because then you've got like, no, I can clip this and tell everybody you said you'd go.
This is the evidence. Said you'd be here this time.
Yeah. But yeah, that's an awesome session 0, I think. I'm excited. I hope you're
I think we've got
excited.
some good stuff.
I think the 5 or 6 people, 7 people apparently who have stuck around. Thank you for sticking around, folks. Brett, thank you for your ideas and that kind of stuff. We will come back next week. I'll only play the intro once next week, just for everybody's seen it now. Remind us again if you have places to find you on the internet. I think Martin, you've got a Twitch stream as well, don't you? Stream some extra things as well.
Yeah, I haven't streamed for a bit, but I stream over at Martin JJ, and I usually currently playing strategy games.
Oh, cool. James, you've famously said you're not bothered about things on the internet. Are you not bothered?
I have no presence on the internet, barring my Instagram, which has pictures of my child. So
And
if
she
you're
is
interested in
adorable.
that, like, fine. But I generally, my user is Greylam, so I'm Greylam on everything. If you want a Twitter or whatever, but yeah, don't bother because I'm not very interesting.
And it says expert, but you're not actually an expert.
I am indeed. I am not a gaming expert. I've just put like the TTV / basically that's my username. So if you put that in,
Find you.
you'd find me. Yeah.
Awesome. And everybody must know who I am because you found Millie the GM.
Millie the GM.
Yay! Because that's what I do and I love it. And people whinge about being a GM, but I actually really, really love it.
Hit end. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.